Hi, welcome to today's video. My name's Isabella and today I'd like to share with you my Pride Month wrap-up. In June, I really make an effort to read, listen to and watch more queer media, either about different identities or by people who are part of the LGBTQ+ community, and I want to share with you what I consumed this month. Now, there are going to be three sections: books, music and movies, but we're going to start with books because this is me we're talking about and we're obviously going to start with books. I honestly haven't finished much this month, but what I have finished has been pretty damn good. The first book I want to talk about is I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. I did talk about this in my previous video, but we're going to talk about it again. In terms of LGBTQ+ rep, one of the POV characters is trans and there is an MLM relationship within this book. I think this was the first book I ever read with a trans main character. This book's about a world famous kind of boy band and the characters' identities really do play a part in the story, but it's not the main point of anything. I think it's really interesting to see the kind of point of view of public figures and the issues around outing and speculation around sexuality. So I think this book was a really good choice for Pride Month. Another book I read this month, because I read it basically every month, is Red, White and Royal Blue. I could talk about this book endlessly and have talked about this book endlessly. The two main characters are queer. There is gay and bi rep and it's incredible. There is also a trans side character, but you don't really get to hear much from her, so I don't know if I really count that towards like actual representation, I guess, because you don't hear from her basically at all. I think this is a great Pride Month read. I think it's a great every month read. It's too early for this. My brain's not working yet. I've been listening to some audiobooks lately because I've been doing a lot of garden work. And so I recently got through The Raven Boys and The Dream Thieves. There isn't explicit queer rep in them. There is a gay character. Towards the end of the second book, you kind of hear about it, but you don't really. So I'm not going to talk about them that much because at this point in the series there isn't really representation. And my current read is Loveless. This definitely has some queer rep. To be fair, I'm only a few pages into this, but according to the internet, this book does have an Arrow Ace main character and side characters that are Arrow, Ace, lesbian, gay, bisexual and non-binary. So that sounds awesome for the end of Pride Month. There's still about a week left, but I thought I'd get to this now. That's all for the books. Let's move on to movies. I have watched so many movies this month. I usually only watch a couple, but I've really gotten into watching movies. To start off the month, I rewatched one of my all-time favorites, and that is Handsome Devil. This movie tells the story of a boy who is gay who goes to an all-boys school in Ireland, and the entire school is obsessed with rugby and he could not care less about rugby until he gets a new roommate who is the new star rugby player and their friendship that develops. This is, like I said, one of my all-time favorite movies. It feels like a warm hug. It is just so good. I feel like it has been getting more attention lately. I've definitely seen people talking about it on TikTok. The two main actors have been in some fairly popular projects lately. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but Fionn O'Shea, Irish names are hard. The main actor of the movie was in Dating Amber, which I'm gonna talk about soon. And people have been talking about that a lot. Nicholas Galitzine was recently cast in Red, White and Royal Blue. He was also in Cinderella, which I refused to watch just on principle, but one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion, is the kind of mentor character, Dan Sherry, who is played by Andrew Scott. I think that a staple of queer media is the older kind of mentor, and I think this movie does a great job of that. it's beautiful. So yeah, I was glad to rewatch this movie this month. The next movie I watched, which is another all-time favorite, is Pride. This is another one that Andrew Scott is in, and he also kind of is another kind of mentor kind of character. This one really is a warm hug. It's so heartbreaking at points, but it's just so beautiful. It's really about finding community, and I think that for Pride Month and for LGBTQ+ people, community is so important. If you haven't watched this movie, it's based on the 1984, I think, miners' strike, and a group called LGSM, or Lesbian and Gay Support the Miners, raising money and helping out a small community in Wales. It's beautiful. It's just, oh my god. It's based on a true story. I don't know if there are creative liberties taken, but it's really something. The next thing I watched was a TV show. Anyone who knows me knows exactly where this is going. Heartstopper. Of course, I rewatched Heartstopper for I want to say we're in the high 20s of rewatches. That sounds crazy. I sound insane. I can't stop watching Heartstopper. It is just so sweet and beautiful, and basically the only example I can think of just pure queer joy in media. The next movie I watched was one that I went to completely blind. I had no clue what it was about. It just came up on my Netflix, and so I gave it a watch, and that is The Boys in the Band. Now, based on the title, I did assume that it was about this group of men in a band. They weren't. There was no band to be heard of. It was a really interesting movie. Not really my style, but it kind of messed with my head a bit, to be honest. I didn't know what was going on half the time, but that's maybe a me thing. The cast was kind of incredible though. I'm gonna be honest, I can't explain to you what happened in the movie, but like, it was good. It was one of those things where I was just confused, I think. I think I would have had a better experience watching it if I knew what I was going into, but I didn't. So it was confusing. The next movie I watched was Dating Amber. The main actor, same guy from Handsome Devil. Oh my god. It tells a story of a lesbian and a gay guy pretending to date to stop bullies, basically. But it was so much more than that. It was like an emotional roller coaster for me, I think. It's another one kind of about friendship and community, but not wider community. A lot more kind of between these two people, and being there for each other, and just it was good. It's definitely one that I think I'm gonna have to rewatch to fully appreciate, but from a first watch it was really good. The next movie I watched was one that is kind of left field, not like what I've been watching, but it's Better Nate Than Never, which is a kids movie on Disney+. I was having a movie night with my mom, and we were just kind of scrolling, and it came up, and I was like, you know what, why not? And we watched it, and like, it's a kids movie, so it's not as complex as all of these other movies, but it was decent. Like, it was alright. I think that as someone who was growing up in like the 2000s, to see a kids movie with a gay main character, it's not explicitly said that he's gay though, I want to make that clear, but it's alluded to, and it's made clear that he is. But it was just really nice to see that kids get to grow up with representation now. Like, that's really cool. I'm sorry, I've gotten distracted. There's a crow, and it's standing on one leg. Anyway, we have Stranger Things. Season, what are we on? 4 came out. Volume 1. Volume 2 comes out soon. We're very excited. Season 4 Volume 1 came out. There is definitely queer rep in Stranger Things. There is Robin, who had one of the most beautiful coming out scenes in season 3, I think. I can't keep up. A lot happens in that show. One of the like sweetest coming outs I've seen on TV. I love Robin as a character. I think she is like one of my favorite characters on TV at the moment. You could say that Will is also some queer rep, but nothing's been confirmed yet. And I have opinions on season 4 that I'm not going to get into right now. Also, there's been a lot of discourse lately on the character of Eddie and his sexuality. I'm personally of the opinion, I said that weirdly, I am personally of the opinion that Eddie is not heterosexual based on a number of things, but we'll see when Volume 2 comes out. Who knows? They'll probably just kill him off, so. Next we have The Umbrella Academy. Oh my god. I finished watching the new season yesterday, I want to say, and that show, oh my god. Okay, so we have Klaus, incredible character, played by Robert Sheehan. I don't know if Klaus is bi or gay or what. I don't know if they really say in the show. I can't remember. But I love the way that the new season has incorporated Elliot Page, or the character of Victor, coming out as trans. I think that the show and the showrunners and like the entire team have done something incredible there. I don't think I've ever been watching something where an actor has come out as trans midway through and then actually had their character come out as well. I'm trying to think, but nothing's coming to mind. But yeah, I think that what they did with that kind of plotline worked into the story really well, and it's a great bit of representation for trans people. I think that the family's reactions were really nice. I've seen people online talking about it, but I think it's really just sweet the way none of them questioned anything. It was just like, oh, alright, cool, sweet, let's go. Got bigger things on our minds right now. So yeah, that's another little bit of queer media that I watched this month. Lastly, we're onto music. I've really gotten into music this month again, which has been super nice. I really missed just like listening to music. I enjoy listening to like playlists and things just as I'm going about my life, but there's something really special about sitting down and listening to an album all the way through. So there's a few artists I want to mention and specific albums, so let's just do that. Firstly, we have a longtime favourite, Troye Sivan. Of course, I love Troye Sivan. I remember back like when he was a YouTuber and like when he was releasing his first music. I remember the day that TRXYE came out. I was at school. We had a excursion to a like castle thing. Anyway, I remember using the song Fun in a school presentation. I love Troye Sivan. I listened to his entire discography basically like in one sitting, and I just love his music. I do think that Blue Neighborhood is still my favorite album, but I think that's like a nostalgia thing. I do think Bloom is a better album, but I like Blue Neighborhood better. So yeah, I've got nothing else to say. I like Troye Sivan. I also finally listened to Ola Gartland's new album. New, it's not even new anymore. But that's great. Love it. I listened to MXM Tunes' new album, which is maybe like one of my favorite things to listen to right now. I don't really know how to talk about like music in terms of like queer rep because it's not, it's real people, and so it feels a little weird to like talk about. But these are just some artists that are queer that I like, I guess. Now, Conan Gray's sexuality is a big old question mark, but according to the music video that's coming out for Disaster, I'm pretty sure that shows him and a guy, so we're gonna count that as some queer rep. His album came out today, Super Ache. Insanely beautiful, made me cry so many times. See, the problem with talking about like real people and real music is that I'm scrolling through my Spotify and looking at what I listen to. I don't know these people. Oh, The Sun just came out. Hang on. Okay, might be a bit too dark now, but whatever. I don't know most of the artists I listen to sexualities. Like, that's just not a thing that I really dig around in. There are a few like albums where I'm like, well, that sounds like it's about a man, or that sounds like it's about a woman, but I don't know, and so I can't say anything. I do want to specifically mention one song, and I know the artist specifically has never said that she is queer. I know that. I know that she has publicly had boyfriends, but this song I cannot think of a single straight explanation for, and that is Ivy by Taylor Swift. Also, it was used in Dickinson, so like at this point, but yeah, that song feels incredibly sapphic, and I think that counts as queer rap. So I guess I'm gonna stop there because I could just say every song I've ever listened to and how I interpret that, but let's not. I've been talking for way longer than I expected to be, so if you've stuck around, thanks. I hope you had a good Pride Month. I know that the state of the world is kind of a bit rocky right now, but I think finding joy in media is something that can be really helpful. So if any of these sound interesting to you, give them a watch, read, listen, whatever. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time. Bye.